Hello and welcome to week 11. Welcome to week 11 for biopsychology. And we are going to be looking at chapter 10, internal regulation. And a lot of this has to do with the regulation of nutrients and fluids, our hunger and thirst aspects of our body in order to create chemical balances and make sure we have all the nutrients that we want. And we take it a little bit of a deep dive into the neurology associated with getting hungry specifically. Now, in this week's discussion, I'm having you look at, and I know it's Monday when I'm doing this, and some people are already in there doing these discussions, and we're looking at eating disorders, any experiences that you might have. You do not need to reveal if you yourself had or have an eating disorder. This is not the purpose of that. But if you know something about it, you've known somebody or had some experiences with that, it certainly enriches the class. But then looking also at the media and the media's effect on people's perceptions and how that has actually changed the way our brains work in terms of managing our weight. What nutritionists will call the set point being disrupted by the kinds of foods that we are told to eat. Now, in the quiz, I'm having you answer some questions related to this graphic right here. This is in the course book, and it describes the neurological processes related to hunger. And what you'll see is that there are two areas of the brain. One is here, and this is what's called the processing for satiety, meaning I'm full, and this is the hunger motive. And you'll see the inputs are all over here. These represent the information coming in. We have this hunger signal there, we have taste, and we have the presence of body fat that contributes to us being hungry. Also the presence of insulin. These two can also send information to tell us that we're full. There's the distension of our stomach that tells us we're full. And then there's high sugar content here that tells us that we're full. And then you see the brain components here that are activated, comes into this area right here. This is the decision-making part of the brain. Do I eat or not eat? Goes over here. Two kinds of nuclei that are in this process right here that then result in the emotional components and the feedback mechanism associated with hunger and satiety. The thing that I'm asking, the note that I made when I first put this together has to do with this process right here. And I speculated that there might be a purpose for desserts at the end of meals. So if we get it, this is the, if you've ever seen the commercial of the Snickers bar and someone's like really irritable and stuff like that, they're hangry is what we might call it. They're hungry and they're angry because they take that Snicker bar and it kind of like calms them down. That's that process right there. That's a high glucose piece in there, and it kicks into the I'm full, I'm okay, I have enough energy. We do know that junk food tends to stimulate this part of the brain, even though you're not getting the nutrition because it's such high sugar. It distends our stomach. So those two pieces right here come from high sugar foods. They make us feel like we're full, even though our nutrition might be low. So the quality of food plays a role in here. So I'm actually asking you to be a critical thinker and kind of take a look at the concept of when we eat dessert as a way of dieting. Eating dessert, in my opinion, is a very good strategy for dieting. I'll just throw that out there. See if this comes out in the quiz. And I'm certainly glad to talk about it in the discussion. So you can just post some stuff in there, what you think about that particular question and that particular quiz. So The quiz looks at thirst and Thanksgiving dinner and that whole issue, and the discussions about eating disorders and the role of media. So that's what we're doing this week in biopsych, and I hope you have a great week.